All right, thanks a lot for the coffee. Have a good day. This is JD Dugger with Modern Realty on Cross the Street PDX. JD Dugger here with Modern Realty and SRG LLC. I just got back from my interview with Jimbo and Liz. Thanks to both of you for giving me the opportunity to speak about the interest rates in real estate on your video. Cross the Street PDX, making it happen, giving people a voice. Some of the highlights in the interview. We met at the Rockwood.
What is good? I'm here today with JD Dugger, my friend from the old school.
Yes, for sure. Back in the day.
We went to Madison freshman year together. I explained this earlier to him. I became a finance manager later on in life. He became a real estate agent later in life. And we were both in the same remedial math class with one another.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and we played football together for a little quick stint before I left that school at Madison. But
you was like a free safety, weren't you?
Free safety and wide receiver, yeah.
That's right, that's right. So we're here meeting today at the Rockwood Market Hall.
Great spot.
Great spot.
A lot of people need to know about it. Awareness, put the word out. They're not doing nothing here to market this stuff. So after this video, when you see this, let your friends know, come down here to the Rockwood Market. We got some business down here that needs some business. So let's do it.
We were picking at some of the problems of the place that we noticed. Number one is the parking. For as many cars as you would see in the parking lot here, you would think that the place was stuffed full of patrons. We come to find out that's not the case today.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
In there.
So if you drive past here, you're going to see that there's not a lot of parking available, but there is places on the street. So don't just pass it up thinking that there's not a spot. Look around a little bit because these businesses could use the support.
I'll show you the flyer right here. When you pull up, there's a couple, the only advertising on the east and the west of the building here. That's what it looks like, as you can tell. So be sure to stop in. We did stop in and say hello to Callie, or to Trelise at Callie's Custom Hat Wigs. She's doing her best to hang on here as long as possible, it sounds like.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, really motivating woman, though, man. She has a great mindset. People like that are what's going to make the change. So I'm glad I met her today, for sure.
You do real estate around town, correct?
Yes, since 2007 is when I jumped in the real estate market.
I put a post up on Facebook looking for real estate agents to interview, and I was blown away at the support that y'all get.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there was hundreds of suggestions. So
yeah, I saw a lot too. I actually knew quite a few of the other realtors that were suggested too. So thanks to you for allowing me to be the one in front of the camera to speak about real estate today.
Well, you had a special connection with this place. You've attended a few of the city council meetings, you said, here for the Rockwood Market Hall.
That is correct. When we were doing the lease up on this Rockwood community over here, 224 units, went to some Gresham City Council meetings, and I think the biggest problem is, you know, they're saying they want it to be successful, but they're not putting the marketing behind it. So my questions when they were talking was, where's the display that we can see of the final project, right? What other communities are we pushing this market to get traffic here? And it just sounds like, especially after talking with her, which is a business owner here, it's just not happening. So I might spend a little bit more energy talking about this place more than I do real estate just to get some publicity here. So
I walked out to my neighbor. We live in the neighborhood here. I'm from this neighborhood, and we walked out to my neighbor today and asked him if he had heard of the Rockwood Market Hall. He's been here for 3 years and never heard of it. So
my wife's not familiar with it too, and we live 10 minutes from here.
Yeah, that's got to change. And with these great businesses, like we said, that are here, let's try and do our best to get some people down here to help them out.
And you know, I really want to touch on this, especially for the consumer, or especially consumers that are trying to, you know, like she has her own struggle. Everybody's got a story, right? So if you're trying to break the cycle and you don't come from the best background, I really want to dig into that today with home ownership too, because if you're trying to break the cycle, one of the best goals you can have of breaking that cycle is having the goal to own a home. Because once you adapt that mindset, and not even own a home, just the mindset of a goal, especially a big goal like that to break a cycle, everything around you changes. Once that mindset changes, everything changes. You start getting that energy. So I want to talk about that today and some of the myths about
You've got a great
rates.
change in mind pace, as you will. You got in some pretty big trouble, if I remember, we were a kid, and then fought yourself out of it, and look at you now, brother, looks good.
Yeah. I lived on the streets for a while. I didn't have a mom or a dad, so I was kind of a street kid. I was driving at 13 and 12 years old, sleeping in cars. So I was rolling at a young age in cars and stuff. But and that's why I'm talking about breaking the cycle, right? I did some things, went to prison for a while, came out, and before I paroled, I was already in that mindset where I'm going to get an associate's degree. I'm going to get out here and be involved with business and move commerce or the right way, right? To do things the right way. And so before I paroled, I was paroling to college classes. I already had them set up. I was already registered. So, and that's why I talk about mindset so much, is because when you do that and you set your mindset on a goal and you're consistent, things will happen. It's guaranteed things will happen. So, you know, if that's a goal for you to finally own a home one day, then let's do it. I would say do it for sure.
Brought your friend along with you here today. I want you to come on in here, squeeze on in, give us an introduction.
Tony Campbell, yep.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Tony Campbell.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Campbell.
From Portland, been here a long time.
Okay. He is a representative of the show that's coming up here February
3rd.
3rd, yeah. Champagne James, Rush One, Miss Sophistication. They're going to be throwing a little event there at the PDX Event Center. I'll show the flyer for that. Bing, right here next to him there. Take a look at the flyer there.
Right.
That should be a fun event. Congratulations getting involved in that.
It's going to be a great event. I think it's the thing for after COVID, bringing people back together, the community back together, people seeing what's out there. I have a brand called Inwoven. It's designed for connection. Everybody needs to get involved and reconnect and learn what connection means to them, as far as people and checking people who you don't know and who you do know. Bring strangers together, get everybody involved. So a brand that stands for something is a brand that means something. So everybody be there.
Love it. Great.
Yeah.
You going to go to that event?
Yes, and it's in Fairview, so not far from here. Definitely go down there. Pop-up hip-hop event. Sounds like you know a lot of people going to be there as well.
Sure. There's going to be a whole lineup of people we know there. Yeah.
So we'll definitely be down there and check it out and support. There's just another thing is supporting local businesses, right? So anything we can do to support local businesses, I suggest doing for sure.
Your success in real estate, I do like a little phone conversation we had. You said you came up with like a little supplemental business, if you will, for other real estate agents, correct?
SRG, yep.
It's the SRG.
So my main job is a principal broker with real estate, so I help people buy and sell homes, but I also service the real estate industry as well. So I provide open houses, showings, inspection host services, just to take the workload off of busy agents, or sometimes somebody's out of town, they need somebody to do open house. So that's the business I started about 6 months ago, and it's been super successful since. But my main job is real estate still.
Big ups to our all-the-time sponsor, PDX Radio and Rappy Dusky. Submit your music to prettydopesubmissions@gmail.com, and Rappy Dusky will get your song played on his credited radio station for all you artists out there. Also, we'll take the time to recognize our other monthly sponsor, David Jefferson and Stacking Kicks. He's currently located at Lloyd Center. He got a store at Lloyd Center. So you can go stop in there and cop some Stacking Kicks clothing. Big up to Mr. Jefferson. What about you? You support any other big local brands around town?
Man, I've been really big into Adidas lately. I was a big Nike fan, obviously, because me and my boy worked at Nike. I got probably like 100 pairs of shoes in my closet. You don't want to see my shoe collection, but definitely got quite a collection. I think my best pair of shoes, though, is the Nike LeBron James Game Days, with the date of his first basketball game on the inside.
We got some sneakerheads that watch the show, so any of my sneakerheads that know what that is, make sure you comment below.
Oh, yeah. Only made 500 pair.
Really?
So, yep, only made 500 pair.
Dang.
I think I got like 250 something, or I'm like round the half digits.
We should go inside. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, let's check it out, man. And then I'll talk about some interest rates, man. I really want to talk about, because when I come in contact with a lot of people about real estate right now, they're not doing anything because of interest rates.
But they're worried about the high rates?
They're worried about the high interest rates, but I want to hit on some stuff so that we're getting the big picture of buying a home. You know, when interest rates are low, the market's saturated, and that's why you have people offering $100,000 over the list price. So when I hear people say they want to wait for interest rates to go back down, would you rather be in a market where you're competing against multiple buyers and paying over list price, or in a market where prices have dropped and you can adjust your interest rate later to get a better interest rate, right? So when the interest rates go back down, which they very rarely do, you're going to be in a situation where you're stuck because you overpaid for the home just to get a low interest rate. So get a moderate interest rate and a low value on your home, which values are low and interest rates are moderate right now. But we got a lot of these media outlets that don't have licenses, they're not realtors, kind of promoting fear. So I just want to say to people, if you're waiting for interest rates, this is a great time to buy because they're moderate, they're not high.
Is there times that are better than others to buy, or is it just when you think about it, you should probably do it?
When inventory is low, which it's at 2.3 months right now, which is very low, a stable real estate market is 4 to 6 months, which is a balanced real estate market. That's when it's a really good time to buy, but we're a long ways from a balanced real estate market. We only got 2.3 months of inventory. We went down to 0.3 months of inventory just this last year, which is a historical low. I've never seen it that low since 2007.
Does that make it harder for real estate agents, or are you guys just making larger commissions?
No, it makes it harder for everybody because there's no inventory. And if there's no inventory, then nothing's really driving the market, right? Because there's no homes. So we are in a housing crisis for affordable housing and just for regular housing, because ever since COVID stopped, you know, you had a lot of developments and the crash in 2008 where developers were doing 200 homes at a time. And then something happens and they're stuck with all those homes they never completed. So with that easing back, now you're seeing developers do 20 homes at a time or 50 homes at a time, right? So it slowed housing up. But inventory's so low, we're a ways away from a balanced market. This is the most balanced we've seen it.
I'll get you a little more on balance. The next time you're swagged out at the bar or at the church
Oh,
or
yeah.
wherever you like to go, we got you a new Cross the Street tee there.
Bang, bang.
Part of the new white series that we just pulled up. Those are dope.
Oh, these are dope. This is nice, man.
Super nice.
I like
Thanks
this.
again for joining
Yeah.
the show. Really appreciate you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go see what else they got here in the
And
market.
then we got a gift for you too, man. We got,
Oh,
got you a hat too.
What do we got here?
I don't know which one. I just grabbed something really quick.
We don't receive, not to give.
Oh, dope.
Logan,
Love it. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Appreciate you. You grab this one there.
Yeah, man.
Let's go take a look here at the market and see.
Yeah, with the parking, you'd think it was going to be swamped in here, but
You look at that. For all the cars in the parking lot, you sure
Yeah.
would think there would be a lot of people here.
I had to park down the street, so
We've used Mama G's here a couple times. Liz is a big fan of the soup here. She loves the soup.
Yeah.
Gluten-free. She's a gluten-free master.
oh, okay.
Where'd you get your coffee at?
That's where I got my coffee
All right.
and the
So,
code to the bathroom.
The power, the power of being open. Mm-hmm. What do you do for your fun time then, man? You got a family now?
I actually have a traveling blog called Traveling with the Duggers, so I do lots of traveling. You know, back in the day, I grew up on the 4 blocks I grew up on in the streets. I didn't even know about Bahamas. This was actually the boonies for me. I'm pretty sure you know.
Yeah,
like
this
coming
was
out
not-
here was
yeah.
the boonies,
No.
right? So, we do usually go on a couple cruises a year. My favorite place is the Bahamas and Cabo. If you've never been to the Bahamas, you gotta go to the Bahamas. Best water in the world, man. You gotta check it out. Don't be trapped on them 4 blocks you grew up on. Go see the world, man. I'm telling you.
And then you married. You married
Somebody you know.
I do, yeah.
Christine Keller, yeah. Now
Yeah.
she's Christine Dugger. Whitaker Warriors, what's up?
Let's go. That was an interesting twist to the story after all these years. I don't think we've seen each other since we were
Yeah.
15 years old or
Yep.
something.
And you had Kamari Bailey on there, Whitaker Warrior as well, my boy.
Yeah.
It's good to see him doing good too, man. I feel good when I see people that come from where we come from and they've changed their lives and they're doing good. They got careers, they got families, man. It feels good to see for sure.
I didn't know he was a drummer in high school, though. I didn't know that.
Yep.
He revealed that on the show. I had no idea.
I didn't know his dad was a preacher, and I've known him since I was 9 years old. So I didn't know that at all.
Pretty magical story that he told there at the church. So.
Yeah, Whitaker Warriors, man, back in the day. Gosh, what a school. That was a great school, man. Great sports programs there. Coach Clark was a great coach for those sports programs there. He'd actually come pick me up because I didn't really have a steady place to stay, so he would find me and come swoop me up. So thanks, Coach Clark.
Any other community involvement with your job that you created there for everybody?
Yeah, well, me and my wife, a few times now, we sponsor a family during Christmas, man. There's actually a lot of families out there. So if you find yourself in a position that can change somebody or help somebody, you can go on and you can gift families, the whole family, where you actually sit down with them and you open the gifts with them and have like a little party. It's actually really cool. If you want to talk about growing the soul, that's the #1 way to do it, is to help other people for sure.
We just had that comment on the car. Liz and I had a nice conversation about if, helping someone that doesn't want help sometimes is a tricky line, but
Yep.
asking them where they would go for help if they did need help may be the message that we could spread instead if they don't want
Sometimes the
help.
question is the answer, right? So sometimes you just got to ask a question for that person to get the answer. So I agree with that completely.
What do you think about this space? You think this is going to continue to stay open?
Man, great question. I would love to say 100% yes on that. But when you go to the meeting that I went to and you hear about the lack of advertisement and support, well, then you just talk to the business owners here, right? These are the people to talk to if you really want the straightforward information. And I mean, the voice we're hearing from them is that there's no support, and you don't build something like this in a struggling community. Is this what we get for gentrification? Is this what people get for? Come on, man, let's invest back into the city, right? We had a huge thing that happened back in the 90s with moving this city from the North Portland and scattering it around, and doing something like this on such a minute level and then not supporting the businesses, which these are minority business owners, they're small businesses and they're trying to make something. They should have the support, and it's sad. I mean, what time is it? It's almost 2. We should be getting in line. We should see lines in here.
Again, for as many cars as we saw in the parking lot, you would have thought for sure this place was full.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And these communities need the support. This used to be a really good community back in the day in the 90s, man. So there's no reason it can't be that again. So.
Well, we did run through about 15 minutes pretty quick there. That's how fast that goes. You want to give some special love, shout outs, PSAs on the way out of here before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I do, man. I actually had quite a few families that helped me break my cycle growing up that took care of me and pulled me off the streets. The Wright family, the Crimin family, the Demetrius family. So thanks a lot to all of you guys. And then also thanks to the Hanna family and to Rick Sadel for giving me a chance in real estate when I got into this market. Because it wasn't easy. They made me do like a 6-month review because of my felonies. But I think my motivation and my dedication showed them I changed, so they gave me a chance. So thanks to those companies for letting me get into the game.
What does it take for someone to buy a home from you, my friend? What do they have to do? Leave some. I got some links that we'll leave down in the description below.
Well, all you got to do is you can reach me through Messenger. My number is 503-839-1524. You can give me a call, and I would say if you're thinking about buying a home, the first thing you want to do is contact a professional, because you need to establish a plan and a timeline, right? So you don't want to jump into just buying a home. You want to sit down, talk with a professional, get all your questions answered, and establish a plan and a timeline. That way you know what to expect before you jump into it. It's the biggest investment of your life, buying a home, but one of the best ones as well. So.
Thank you so much for your time, friend. I can't wait to catch up with you, so I don't have to hold this camera. We can just talk freely. That's fun.
Right? No, man, I appreciate you too.
Thanks for your time, friend. Cheers.